Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So there's a topic that I want to talk about, and it's a very emotional topic, but I want to share with you guys because it's something very dear to me that happened to me recently, and I never wish this upon any female, like ever. So 3.5 weeks ago, I found out that I had a miscarriage. Now, I was almost 2 months pregnant. Only my close family and friends knew that I was pregnant. And I'm glad I kept it that way, because if I would have announced it to the world, that probably would have been something very horrible. But you don't want people coming up to you, oh, how's the baby, and then you just tell them like there's no more baby. So I want to talk about like the emotional stress that I went through and I'm still going through with this whole miscarriage thing. Now, I think I've cried everything that I can cry, but so we found out we were pregnant when I was 6 weeks pregnant, and it was so emotional. Like, I literally, and my parents were in like Morocco, and so I can never hold anything from my mom. So when I found out I was pregnant, I was gonna wait for her to come back from her like vacation with her friends, but then I realized I can't hold anything from her, so I WhatsApped her, like, the video chat, and she picked up, and it was like 4 in the morning over here, and it was like daylight over there. It's like early in the morning over there. So then I called her. I was like, Mom, I have to tell you something. And she's like, wait, I can't hear you. And she's like trying to put her earphones on, and I'm like, Mom, I have to tell you something. She's like, what? I was like, I'm pregnant. And she was like, what? And I was like, yeah. I was like, but don't tell Papi, okay? And I want to tell him. And she's like, all right. She said, it's going to be the hardest thing ever. Oh my gosh. And I'm like, yeah, don't tell him though. Don't tell him. So I had this whole thing planned out for my dad, which what I did was I bought a box. And I bought these little slippers and a rattle thingy, like, and I put it in the box. And on the lid of the box, I put, Grandpa, will you save these for me for when I arrive in May? Love, Baby de la Cruz, or from Baby de la Cruz. So when they arrived, me and Rolly went to go pick them up at the airport, and I said, and Rolly gave him the box, like, oh, I hope this fits you. And my dad starts laughing, and he's like, what do you mean? So he opens the box, and you see him like reading the box, and he's like, he just smiled, like that's all he did. And I made a video of it, so here goes. You gotta read this right here.
Oh shit.
Oh boy!
I know.
Isn't that like the freaking cutest video you've ever seen in your life? Like, I know I was a little emotional, so the camera was like everywhere, but that little short clip was like, oh my god, you could see my dad's excitement in his face. So prior to that video, or picking them up from the airport, I started bleeding. So we went to the emergency room, and they told us that the baby was fine, that the baby was growing, that my HCG levels were normal for somebody who is already, I was already at that point 7.5 weeks. Normal for somebody of 7.5 weeks, whatever. Sometimes women just bleed during their pregnancy, and I was like, okay, cool. But I felt like there was something wrong. But like and then the next day I went to my doctor, and they're like, to confirm pregnancy, and they were like, oh, congratulations, like everything is fine. So I was like, okay, cool. And I told her I was bleeding. She was like, some women just bleed. And I was like, okay. And then like 2 weeks later, we went in for our sonogram, which they give us our due date, and they give us like our first sonogram, you know, like baby's heartbeat and everything. So we went, and the lady didn't want to tell me anything, you know, like the tech. She didn't want to tell me anything, and I work in the medical field, so I'm looking at the screen, and I don't see a sac, and I don't see a heartbeat, and I don't see any of that. Which when I went to the hospital, I saw my baby's heart, and now I can't see my baby's heart, so I was a little frustrated. And and then she was like, you know, at this stage we can't really see much. But me being in the medical field, I'm like, I was like, so you can't tell me if the baby's there or not? And she's like, no, I can't tell you. And right there, that's when I know, because they give you your first sonogram, and they tell you your due date. She didn't do none of the above. So I was just like, I went and I got dressed, and I just stormed out, and Rolly comes behind me. He's like, babe, what's wrong? I was like, there's no baby. And he's just like, but how you know? I was like, because I know. And I start crying and crying. And then we had to go pick up Zoe that day. So we went to pick up Zoe, and like normal. But I was like hysterically crying, because it was just like, I wanted this baby so bad because of the person that I'm with. He's such an amazing dad and such an amazing person. And he just like basically just lifts me up when I'm down. And he is definitely my backbone. And to have a child from somebody like that is like the ultimate blessing. So I felt like I was being blessed, and then now I feel like it was just taken away from me. And then so I called the doctor so that the doctor can review it. She didn't get back to me, and it was a Friday, so I had to wait till Monday. I called them Monday, and they were like, no, you're pregnant, whatever. And I'm like, are you sure? Can I speak to the doctor? Because I took a pregnancy test during the weekend, and it came out negative, and whatever. So they made me come in. So when I came in, it was for sure my pregnancy test was negative, and they compared the sonogram, and the doctor was like, yeah, I'm sorry, Stephanie, you know, things like this just happen. And I just broke down over again, because it was like confirmation that the baby wasn't there. And it was very hard. And we just went through that hard moment, and I just don't wish that upon anybody. But the way I got through it is I was just like, okay, we're just gonna take a step back, we're gonna think about it, we're just gonna breathe it out, we're gonna, you know, there's nothing more painful than losing something that you really wanted, especially a child. Some people say that it was just a fetus. It's not. No, my baby had a heartbeat, okay? My baby was a baby. So you cannot tell me that it was just a fetus and I didn't feel anything. I literally just lost a piece of me and a piece of Rolly all at one time. Like, I need everybody to understand that. It was a very hard moment for me. So if you're a female that went through miscarriages, like, I understand what you went through. Like, I really do. And it's crazy because my family goes through crazy amount of stuff, as you guys can see from my previous YouTube videos. But like, I never ever in a million years thought that I would have a miscarriage, and the fact that I had one tore me apart. Like, I just was like, what did I do? Why couldn't I withhold this baby? Why couldn't I keep my baby safe? And it has nothing to do with what I did, because I did everything right. It had nothing to do with what we were doing, you know, any of that. So, you know, these type of things just happen. Like, they just happen. And I'm so grateful that I even had the opportunity to get pregnant due to my circumstances and my health, that I was able to get pregnant. And I know that in the future I will have a baby, and I will have a baby by him, and we will create this beautiful creature together. And, you know, I will get to basically relive my dream, you know. So for all the women that go through miscarriages or have been through miscarriages, like, I understand what you're going through, but you have to think of of the light at the end of the tunnel, and there's gonna be more. There's a bigger plan for you, and I understand that there's a bigger plan for me. So I wanted to share my story to let females know that you guys are not alone. I went through it as well. Rolly went through it. Our families went through it. There's nothing more painful than to see my own dad cry and pray about losing a grandchild, because he only has one grandchild. He only has my daughter. And for him to think to have another one, it was such a big blessing for him, because you guys know he has heart disease. So nothing. I'm just gonna move forward with my life. We're gonna continue on with both our kids, and we're just gonna live life the way it's intended to be, happy, free of drama, and just enjoy every second of each other's lives, because we just don't know when our time is over. So you guys, thank you for watching, and please, like always, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will be back with more videos. Thank you so much. Bye.